Sean, tell us about this money.
Hi guys, thanks for joining us again. So today's video, we're gonna go from your suggestions, what you guys have been putting in the comments, that I should concentrate on on one item and give a little bit more in-depth knowledge to that, and also put some links in the description so people can follow up on that. You know, it's something that we've not been doing on our other platform. You know, people are just used to us giving them full force, lots of information, really quick, and getting it out there. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to take a little bit more time in this video, and I'm going to explain this final red line of the conflict in Eastern Europe and how I feel nobody's talking about it, but it's going to be the underlying line that nobody's talking about it. So it's all about financing and the potential collapse of the US dollar. So in the news at the moment, there's a lot of talk about the Europeans and the Americans, you know, all coming together and confiscating money that's held in accounts in Europe by the Russians, and they want to confiscate that money and give it to Ukraine. This amount totals to about $300 billion. Now, what's going to happen here? And nobody else seems to even be talking about this, and it seems to have a media blackout. But if this happens, this could lead to the collapse of the US dollar, because, you know, a currency collapses when you lose faith, and, you know, you lose faith of its stability. So if you've got a product, a US dollar, and people around the world start to say, oh, you know what, well, these Russians had billions of US dollars stored, and then when the Americans didn't like them, they took the dollars from them and gave them to another country. So all the other countries are then going to take their dollars away from America that they've, you know, purchased in assets, and they're going to go to another currency that they feel is more stable. Now, this all comes back, well, this all started with the British Naval Prize Act in 1864, which was a way that the British government could gift ships and loot to captains who had captured ships or naval officers who've done well in a conflict. So the British Navy would then take other people's ships and have them for their own. So they basically, you know, they were pirates, and, you know, that's a whole different video on how the British Empire is built on piracy. But that's basically where it came from. You know, this British Naval Prize Act was also used by the Israelis in 2016 to confiscate a ship. So, you know, it's still used by countries, and it's still used by nations. And what we feel is, as we move forward with this conflict and things start to get hotter and hotter, and let's not forget, guys, okay, things are worse now in Ukraine than they've ever been, all right? Things are not getting better for the Ukrainians. But as we move forward and the people start to confiscate the money off the Russians, this really is going to be when it escalates. Now, let's put this back to a smaller context. Imagine, you know, you've got a friend or somebody who's got a shop who owes some money to somebody, and he's your friend, and you owe them that money or whatever. You're going to be putting pressure on them not to start conflict until you've got your money back, because you know you're going to lose your money. So that's exactly what's happening in Russia right now. And as soon as they take this money, I feel that this will give Putin the strength that he needs in country to be able to say, you know what, we're just going to go for this, because, you know, you've confiscated all our money now, and there's not really much that we can do. So when we think about it in that context, let's look at the wider picture then. The European Union yesterday have pledged 200 billion. They're looking like confiscating another 300 billion. Now that's 500 billion to the Ukrainians. This is already, the US government have already started this transfer of funds. They're using a test case, and they're using Estonia as a third party. So the money's being confiscated, it's being given to Estonia, and then Estonia are giving it to the Ukrainians. It's only a relative small amount in the grand scheme of things. It's 500 million, I believe. So that's where it's going. That's the way we're going forwards, guys. All right. So it really is a terrifying a terrifying development, the amount of money that's being pledged, the amount of money that could be confiscated. And once you cross these red lines of financing, there really is no way of going back. Once you've taken that money off somebody, they don't have any more money to lose. So, you know, that's what's going to, pull the pins out of things, guys, okay? And we really need to understand these red lines and just be aware of it. So when we're looking in the news and we can see, right, yeah, that money's being transferred, that this legislation's put in place. That's where it's all coming from, guys. So that's the point of this video. Follow the money, because without financing, there's nothing. Guys, thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.